Bro, what up? I'm about to talk about my dating experience in Japan, but instead of talking about like a broad overview of stuff, I think I'll just tell you about like specific stories with specific girls, because I got specific stories with specific girls. I promise you I do. I got multiple of them too. I'm just saying. Now, I did have a dating in Japan video, and I said they date black. I did put that. That's probably my best video on my channel. It has almost 10K views, and I only got like 300 something subscribers. So that video, go watch that if you want to see the whole overview of everything. But I'm about to get into specific stories about Japan and my dating experience there, because I thought it was pretty interesting, okay? Just being honest. So I'll start with Momo. I think Momo was one of the better dates that I went on. And she was super cool, man. Girl, she's into art. She likes to go walking and running. She's into fitness. You know, she a little slim thing, just like most Japanese chicks. You know, they're pretty slim, but she got a really good sense of fashion, really good style. We really connected because, again, her name was Momo. And that's not her real name, by the way. But her name was Momo. And she actually studied abroad in Atlanta, bro. She actually studied abroad in Atlanta. I thought that was so freaking cool, man. Because I'm from Atlanta. Like, what are the odds that you match with somebody in Japan that went to the place that you stay? Literally on the other side of the world, bro. It's like 5, 6, 7 time zone difference. It's a whole 12-hour difference. You know, there are only 24 hours in a day. So it was weird that she actually came to Atlanta. She remembers Atlanta. It was so crazy to me, bro. I was like, that is wild. But regardless, she had came to Atlanta before. So that's what we really had a good conversation at, talking about Atlanta. And I also stayed in her, I don't know if it's her hometown, but I also stayed at where she stayed at. And it's this place called Tachikawa. The first time I came to Japan, I told her my Japanese hometown is Tachikawa. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm from the Tachikawa area. I was like, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, so it's even crazier that she came to my hometown and I've been to her hometown too. I was like, bro, this is wild. It was too coincidental, bro. I love Tachikawa, honestly. That's gonna be my Japanese hometown. I've already claimed Tachikawa to be mine. I'm from Tachikawa. If you ask me where in Japan am I from, I'm gonna tell you Tachikawa, bro. But really, I'm from East Atlanta though, for real though, you feel me? But nah, seriously. It was fun. Now, I gotta tell y'all about getting matches on Bumble, okay? Number one, get your profile right. Get the style right, get the profile right. Understand your brand, bro. You know, especially physically, understand your brand. I'm the physical business dude. That's gonna be my new aesthetic. Physical business dude. You know, I got muscles, I got the beard, I look distinguished. All of that stuff is what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Because it communicates across every single language. And then I might throw some casual stuff in there too, you know? Throw some casual here, throw some casual there. I might do that as well. But for the most part, I'm gonna do that part. I'm gonna just be the business dude who is in shape. That's who I wanna be. That's who I'm gonna be. Y'all gonna see that before I get to Japan. You're gonna see that transformation. Y'all gonna see me in different clothes. But let me not get sidetracked. To get matches in Japan, get your profile together, get your aesthetic together, and download Japan Bumble after you get off the plane. Do not download Bumble before you get on the plane in America. Don't do that. After you touch down, stay there for like an hour, then download Bumble. Bumble's gonna say, hey, welcome back. And what Bumble and Tinder and Hinge all do is give you a spotlight. So when you swiping up all these profiles, they're gonna put your profile at the top, even if you're not Himothy. They still gonna put your profile at the top. And that's how I ended up with 30 matches an hour after I touched down. It's because I went and I did that, okay? I went and I did that. And it was a good strategy, you know? Because they'll give you that free spotlight for like an hour or 30 minutes or whatever, so that you get that influx of matches. And then that way you want to stay on the app, and maybe to get more matches, you'll spend money, which I ended up doing, but I spent it in Japanese yen. So it was like $5. And I wasn't tripping to have Bumble Premium for $5. I just wasn't. So anyway, I matched with Momo on there. We had that conversation about our hometowns, where we're from, and she proposed, you know what, let's meet up. I said, cool. She said, hey, I'm going to this event. Follow me on Instagram. We followed each other. She said, I'm going to an event. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. What event are you going to? And then it was like this rooftop, something about farming. It was like sustainable food where they grow a little mint, they grow a little rosemary. They were growing vegetables on this top of this building in Tokyo, central Tokyo. They're just growing vegetables. It was weird, but it was cool. It was fun. Now, when I got there, I was a little nervous because she kept hitting me back in longer and longer increments. And I knew it was just probably because she was socializing. When I got there, everybody's socializing. I was looking for her. I was like, man, I can't find her. So you know what? I wasn't even going to stress about it. I was like, look, let me just enjoy the time. And she hit me up. If I get stood up, I get stood up. It is what it is. So anyway, she hit me up and it was cool. After she hit me up, it was cool. And she said, hey, I'm at the exit. Now, during my time there, I actually made a friend. His name is Laco. So I met Laco and I was talking to him. She said, hey, I'm with my friends. I'm at the exit. I said, okay, cool. Laco, do you want to come with me? He was like, yeah. So, I'm thinking like it was a 1v1 at first, but now it's a 2-man. You feel me? So she meets me and him at the same time. Oh, hey, this is Laco. I'm Josh, yada, yada, yada. Nice to meet you. Hajime mashite. You speaking your Japanese, that you learn in the textbook, and we just talking. And so it was a cool situation, So she was with a family. The family ended up leaving, and then it was her and her friend. So it was basically a 2-man, like I was saying. But then the friend, we walked around like central Tokyo a little bit. They had these lights out. They had this shopping district or whatever. Walked around a little bit, chatted, made jokes, cracked jokes. And the friend said, hey, I got to get going because I stay very far away, which I understood. It took her like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get home. You don't want to miss your last train, messing around in central Tokyo. You just don't want to do that. It's not fun, especially if you live there. So she goes home. Then it's me, Momo, and Laco. And we decided, you know what? We're going to go to get something to eat. I asked Momo what she wanted to eat. She said, let's eat some American food. So I was like, cool. So we go to this little American restaurant, and they got like these big ass fucking burgers, bro. Big ass burgers. I mean, this must be what they think American stuff is, I can see why, you eat Asian food. They say, hey, it's Americanized. I get it, because our stuff was Japanized. I don't know how you would say it, but it was basically a Japanese person's take or idea of American food versus it just being American food. But it's cool. I didn't go there to get no chicken sandwich either. I went there to get me a burger. And she went and got oysters and a dessert, which oysters are disgusting. And Laco ended up getting a chicken sandwich, which I'm like, bro, why are you getting a chicken sandwich in Japan? Like, I didn't come here for no Chick-fil-A. I came here to taste food that's like from Japan. You feel me? So, we ordered some stuff, maybe have a little drink or two. And then after that, we decided, okay, we're all gonna go home. So, we went home and, that was it. And I wasn't expecting to hear from Momo for a while, I was expecting us to go on about our lives. But she was like, hey, when is the next time that you have time? I was like, well, I'm flexible. I work at night, so you don't have to worry about it. She says, okay, cool. Well, I want to meet up again. So I was like, oh, bet. You want to meet? I was shocked. She wanted to meet up a second time. I was like, okay, cool. So we met up a second time. And this time we went to an arcade. I wanted to go find somewhere to play pool in Japan. And, I really could find places, but she didn't know how to play pool, so it was whatever. We went to an arcade, and I had fun at that arcade. I met up. She was paying for all her own stuff. She wasn't expecting me to pay for everything. She was paying for her own games. She even got us tokens for both of us, which I was shocked. I was just like, whoa, she's contributing to the, what? This is so much better than American dating. So I did that. Somebody asking me for money, bro. You're gonna see him in the camera. So I did that, and it was fun. It was fun. I ain't gonna lie, I had a good time, and then I actually gave her a gift. Remember, I said she was from Atlanta, so she was from Atlanta. I was from Atlanta. I had gifts from Atlanta, and I gave her a gift after we did the arcade, and I thought that would be the end of the night, because we really didn't have a plan after the arcade. She was like, hey, actually, do you want to go do something else? And I was like, yeah, sure. What do you have in mind? She was like, well, I know a bar close to here, and it's a really good bar. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, let's go to this bar then. So that's exactly what we do. We're hanging out. We ended up going to the bar, and it was like this model bar where a lot of the foreign people that go there are models. So it was fun, Went there. What can I say about it? I don't know. We were just vibing, bro. Like, it was really just a vibe. You feel me? Come on, man. Stupid. But, like, it was really just a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really just a vibe. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're vibing. I got a drink, and I asked her, do you want a drink? She was like, yeah. Man, we ended up doing like 5 of them each. But it was cheap for me because the drinks were like $5 each. But with the exchange rate, they were like $3 each. So, if we do 3 drinks a piece, like, that's $18, bro. Well, wait. 369, yeah. $18, bro. $18 for 6 drinks? You know how ham you can go? So we're just having a good time. I come back from the bar with the drinks, and you know what I'm saying? We're just talking about style. I asked her to put my glasses on. What does she look like? We just having a good time. I gave somebody a chair that was there. Nothing crazy. I just, I was just like, hey, I was just being polite. I was just vibing. You know what I'm saying? We're just vibing. Just straight vibing. And people were starting to sit next to us, and we were just vibing. It was a cool situation. So after that, it was almost time for the last train, which happens at like midnight or something like that. And she was like, hey, it's almost the last train. I know you stay far. Do you want to ride home? And I was like, a ride home? She was like, yeah, like I'll see if you can get a ride home. And I was just like, dang, like, she whipping? What she mean? A ride home? So it turns out we go back down to Shibuya train station, and she has this dude. He got a Camaro. He has a dude pick her up. The dude picked her up, and also agreed to take me home. So I was like, oh, this is dope. I was like, this is dope, but it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, she didn't say she was on there to find a boyfriend or to get married. She said she was on there to make friends. But, let's be honest, bro. It's a dating app. You're going to think about dating on a dating app. But the fact that she had a dude pick us up, he was half Japanese, half Korean. I don't think his English was that good, but he could understand when I was making jokes, because Momo would translate the jokes that we were making. Which was funny, because I just like to make jokes sometimes, I would say I'm very selectively social. I'm not an extrovert by any means, but I can joke around with people, and it's fun. So that's exactly what we're doing. We were joking around, we're laughing, we're talking, and maybe 10 minutes into the ride, bro, my bladder felt like it was about to explode. Absolutely felt like it was about to explode. I'm like, hey, how can I say it? Konbini wa toire o arimasu ka? That means, does the convenience store have a bathroom? He said, no, nidus. I was like, oh my God, bro. Where can I use the bathroom at then? I was like, doko wa toire desu ka? They was like, the train station. And I was like, the train stations are about to close. It's the last train time, they're about to close. So he was like, nah, it's cool. Look, we're going to stop by a train station that's close so that you could go use the bathroom. I was like, thank you, because the ride to the spot was like 40 minutes. It was like 40 minutes. I'm not lying, bro. So we stopped by this train station, and, it was fine. But it felt like they had infinite stairs, bruh. Like, I don't know if y'all watched Demon Slayer and they had the Infinity Castle. It felt like an infinity train station. Because I felt like I went down 10 flights of stairs, bro. It was really like 3, but I felt like it was 10 because I was about to explode. I could not run. I was about to pee on myself, bro. I was trying so hard. And they thought it was so funny because I just ran off like this, you know. I was waddling because I couldn't stride like I usually do because it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. But I get down there. I tell the train guy in Japanese, hey, I have to use the bathroom. Can I please use the bathroom? Onegaishimasu. He says yes. And he lets me in the train station. I ran, I relieved myself, came back a new man, bro. I came back a new guy. I feel like I had a new lease on life. I was like, I hope I don't have to use the bathroom like that again, bro, on this ride. Because when I drink, I just have to use the bathroom a lot. So anyway, we get back in the car. You know, we riding, just chatting, listening to music. It's a real cool vibe, you know. And I get a message on my Instagram. And I had matched with a girl, and her name was Bogna. I matched with a girl named Bogna, bro. And when I opened the message, it said, hey, I think I saw you at this bar in Shibuya. You know, were you at a bar in Shibuya today? I was like, oh, yeah, I was. She was like, okay, I thought it was you. You know, you gave my friend a chair. That's what she said. You gave my friend a chair. Are you still in the area? I was like, nah. Now, a little bit of backstory about Bogna, bro. Her lore is that she's from like Europe somewhere, like Eastern Europe somewhere. Blonde, looked good. Got a little bit of a wagon on her. I'm not going to lie. She was kind of cool, you know. She was kind of hot, bro. Never really talked to a blonde chick before. Wasn't even particularly interested. I'm not the hookup type. I can't do it. But, you know, I was willing to link up with her. And the next time I come to Japan, we can link up again. Or maybe she could fly to where I am, or I could fly to where she at. Because I had a fully remote job. Anyway, she says, yeah, you know, I saw you. Are you in the area? I'm like, no. And the reason why this caught me off guard was because I was messaging her on Bumble. We followed each other on Instagram. And that's when she decided to tell me that she's looking for something more stable, more serious. She doesn't want to waste time to link up. And at this point, now she's asking to link up. So I'm confused. Which one do you want? Do you want to link up or do you not want to link up? Now that you see me outside with a hottie, now all of a sudden you want to link up, and are you in the area? I'm like, no, I'm not in the area. I actually went back to my hotel. She was like, okay, cool. You know, you were really nice, you know, and it was nice of you to do that for my friend. And again, it wasn't a big deal to me. I wasn't thinking nothing about that at all. But she seen me in person. Now she interested. But I didn't even notice her when I was there. So it must have not been nothing crazy. You feel me? So it is what it is. But I'm just like, it's just so weird that like you see me out with somebody, I leave with that person, and then you ask me if I'm available to link up with you. It's the whole optics don't make sense. Because if I see a girl out, which I did, I'm gonna give y'all another story time about that. If y'all like this one, I'll give you another story time about that girl. But I was just like, what? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If I was in her shoes and I seen the dude that I said, I'm not interested because you don't stay here, and then he's there with another girl and he leaves with another girl, like, I'm not gonna hit you up asking, are you available? To me, that personally didn't make sense. Bro, let me know what that meant, bro. Please let me know. I don't know what that means. Y'all let me know. I need some guidance. But anyway, we exchanged pleasantries, and that was it. You know, I ended my night where I was at in the Inaka, and then she rolled home with the dude. And I really didn't know what their relationship was. I wasn't 100% sure. Like, are they talking? Are they not talking? They just friends? I mean, it would seem kind of weird that, you know, I'm a black dude from America that don't speak great English, and this girl is asking you to drop me off at my hotel. I don't know what kind of situation that is. Maybe they are just friends. I really don't know. I really don't care. It was a weird situation there too. But again, culturally, we might just be different. If it was me, I wouldn't do that. Not me. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. He can ride the last train. That's what I would have said personally. But regardless, it is what it is. What else? She asked to link up for a third time, and it actually didn't end up happening. Like, we actually didn't link up because I just did not have enough time. I wanted to go see everybody, so we didn't have enough time to do it. So we didn't ever link up again, but that's pretty much the story right there, bro. That's pretty much the story, man. Me and Momo, that was my dating experience with her, and I'll give y'all more in the future, man. But till next time, and I'll catch y'all boys. I'm at the crib now.